We had a couple of weeks that were surprisingly weirdly warm, and we got a lot done in that time. It was pretty enjoyable. It's spooky, but enjoyable to be able to make headway on a lot of things. And now it's going back to seasonally cold stuff. It's not going to get anywhere near or above freezing for at least the next 7 to 10 days. Approaching single digits at night, not quite that cold yet, but it's nippy, a little bit of snow on the ground, but it's bright and sunny, and so my thoughts are to go out to the high tunnel at our neighbor's spot and take a look at what's been going on in there. It's been a little bit since I've gone in myself. Just assess how things are growing, what needs to be done, and share that process with folks that are interested, so stick around. It's mid-January, so there is no pressure or intent to start seeds in there or get the growing season going, so to speak, anytime super soon. Although we could be starting onions in not too long a time. Early February, mid-February, we can think about starting artichokes and some other annuals that need a lot of time to get going. But the more I can get organized and get this place optimized before we need it to be useful to us, the better. But let's just pop in here. It's been a little minute. Certainly haven't gone in since it dropped down. Last night was around 10 degrees. Right now it's around 20 outside. I don't have a thermometer with me. I'll come out and do that another time. I just wanted to get like a qualitative feel for what's going on out here. It's incredibly comfortably toasty in here right now. Very much well above freezing. And let's see. Looks like so far the weather, the way it's going, has not had any negative impact on the rosemary. It actually looks like there's new growth in the last little while, so that's kind of surprising. I think any day that's slightly sunny is enough to have the plants do a little bit of growth, so that's kind of sweet. So looking at some parsley here, they are still in decent shape. I feel like that went through a little bit of stress from the cold last night. Probably sooner than later, it would not be a bad idea for me to get the low tunnel, the poly over this. I have it. It's just a matter of stretching it out and clipping it in. But I want to make sure that if I do put that poly on, that before I do so, I come out here and I have the solar powered fan. I put this in the corner. If I can find the video, I'll link to it here where I showed that. A solar panel is hung in the high tunnel here. The fan is set up in the corner, and then the fan takes the excess heat and sends it down into a tube buried in this walkway. So I want to get all that infrastructure in place before I put the poly on, and I also want to be thoughtful about either harvesting rosemary to dry or for propagation before that poly goes over, because that'll get squished. Also, before I consider putting that poly over, I'll need to come through and harvest back this perennial kale. You can see in the fall, before things got cold, I went through and took a bunch of cuttings off of these figs, just enough to get the poly over this whole scenario. We took all those cuttings and we put them into soil mix and put that down in the root cellar. So hopefully we'll get some propagation by heading these back. I feel confident if these were under poly for the winter, they would have no dieback and be able to produce some pretty serious crops next year. I really appreciate what this perennial kale is up to. There's a lot of it all throughout this tunnel, and it seems to do a really great job as it gets colder. I think this is hardy enough that it should be fine even if it was outside with our average winters, especially as things get warmer over time. But in here, it should be a surefire bet that they can overwinter, and we've been going through as time allows and adding compost and soil around the stems so that we can promote some rooting. These are plants that will root anywhere the stems are in contact with soil. They'll stool layer, so that'll give us a chance to ramp them up, bring more outside, maybe even offer them on the website at some point. But most of the really big brassica greens you see in here are all from the original perennial kale work that we've been experimenting with, the kaleidoscope kale. I'll put a link in the description to the Experimental Farm Network. They have seed for that kale along with tons of other amazing crops that you might want to check out. We would do well to start harvesting more lettuce out of here. I think these are starting to get a little bit beat up. Oops, excuse me. Starting to get a little bit beat up by the cold. I don't know how much more they'll be able to do, and I feel like if we just waited to see what happens, they probably would get injured enough by the frost or the deep freezing that's happening in here and no longer be edible. So we should probably prioritize having a couple really nice salads soon, cutting them nice and low. If they resprout in the spring, great, but it feels like this sort of cropping system, if we don't put a little bit of a low tunnel or protection over them, we can expect them to get damaged once the temperatures get close to single digits outside. That makes sense. A couple parsley plants here that we put in, oh boy, maybe it was 2 years ago now. Let them bolt and set a ton of seed. I collected many ounces of seed, probably a pint or two, almost a quart of straight seed, which is lovely. I don't know if these are still viable, but I got tired of collecting, and so I just let the rest be here. I figured out whatever, they can fall and do their thing. And a nice surprise, we'll see how this works as far as will they survive all the way to the spring. But I normally have a hard time getting parsley to germinate well, and I think what happened is because the seed was able to drop at its own pace into the walkway here, they just germinated sometime not too long ago, and they're starting to grow. So we're gonna not walk in this one walkway until spring, and then hopefully have hundreds if not thousands of parsley starts that are nicely developed, that we didn't have to do anything other than let the seed drop into a walkway in a high tunnel. I'll try to document this in more detail when things thaw out again and there's actual rain, but right now this tank is serving a really interesting function. There's 6 tanks just like this, way upslope, all the way up our neighbor's barn. There's a gutter up there where they collect rainwater, and there's a tube that runs down that I now for the winter have going directly into this tank. And all those tanks are open, so anytime it rains or the snow thaws, water can freely go into this tank. And you can see there's drilled holes here, here, and here that have hoses attached that go into this walkway, into this garden bed over here, and down and over and into this walkway over here. It's a complex seeming but a simple solution of anytime there's rain coming in, this tank is filled until a state of overflow, and then it can equally distribute the overflow state to multiple places that are on contour and fill them with water. So after a good rain the other day, I came out here and saw, you can still see how wet it is in the walkway. So the water passively goes into the walkway and it gently distributes down the entire length, and it laterally hydrates into the beds. It wick waters into the beds right next to them. So that's a setup that I'm really keen to see how it evolves and unfolds. I'll document it in real time when it's doing it, but that is another walkway that's passively irrigated whenever there is rain moving through that system. And since the tanks are open up on the hill, they don't experience really intense freezing, and so they shouldn't be damaged. But that's a passive distribution system for water through this high tunnel. It feels like a great upgrade. It's amazing what season extension like this can do. I'm in my gear for outside, and I am overheating. I don't want to overheat too much because I want to be able to go back out to the cold. So I'm going to wrap this video up here. Let me know what sort of questions you have, comments, ideas, suggestions. What sort of crops would you like to see in here? Do you have some concerns about some approaches that I'm up to? I'm interested and open to hearing about it. And let me know in the comments what you're up to this winter. Are you in a cold place that's getting hit with some nice cold weather? Or I know down south there are folks down in Virginia and Tennessee that are seeing extremely cold, unseasonably kind of scary cold. How are you all handling that? Let's share some notes and keep moving forward in the winter months, prepping for an abundant growing season in 2024. Thanks for watching.